Hey guys, welcome to week 5. This week we're going to be talking about setting goals and time management. So let's go ahead and look at our introduction. After you watch this video, there are 2 sections that I would like you to read. Overall should be about a 20-minute read, or remember you can download Speechify as an extension or an app on your phone where you can listen to the text rather than just reading it. We have a time management goal setting presentation. Assignments for you to complete this week. There is a quiz and a discussion board. Let's go ahead. These 2 are the links to the sections I would like you to read, all about time management and then goal setting and motivation. Let's jump into our presentation. I have embedded some videos in here that I would like you to watch. We're not going to watch them together because that would be kind of awkward, not going to lie, a little weird. So I'm just going to click through those. This one is just a little introduction. But when we're thinking about why time management is important, I know like in my life, whenever I have a decent time management strategy in place, I'm way more productive. I'm more efficient with my time. I'm not going to say I'm like 100% more productive because honestly, it just depends on the day for me if we're being real. Um, but when I have those time management strategies in place, um, I'm more efficient. I'm more productive. My life feels like it has more balance. And with all of those lined up, it really does reduce stress. Does it get rid of stress? No, it doesn't, but it does help reduce stress. So the first thing, before we can even look at a good time management strategy that will work for you, the first thing you need to think about are your SMART goals, your priorities in your life. In one of the chapters, it talks about this a little bit more in detail, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. But SMART goals, when we're setting a goal, right, we're not just saying, I'm going to stop drinking pop, soda pop, Coke, whatever you call it, right? I'm going to quit drinking pop, right? Great. Awesome. How are you going to do that? What's it going to look like? What's your time frame? When you achieve it, how are you going to celebrate? Hopefully not with the pop, right? Um, so when we're talking about SMART goals, that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. These are the things that we're looking at. Another thing to consider when you're looking at your goals is if these 7 things right here. I'm not going to read through all of them. You can take the time to look at them. I lost my train of thought, so I'm going to move on. Second thing we want to look at when identifying our priorities is, okay, we've got our goals, right? We know what's important to us. We know what we want to achieve this week, next week, this month, this whole year. We want to categorize the tasks. So we're going to separate tasks based on urgency and importance. This next video is called the Eisenhower Matrix, and it goes over how you can specifically look at your look at your task, look at your things that are urgent and important. What's less important? What's more important? What's urgent? What do I need to get done today? What can take a couple weeks to get done? So I encourage you to watch this video because it can explain it much better than I could.
Have you recently had the feeling?
And it's 2 minutes and 25 seconds, so not too long. Okay, so once you have identified your SMART goals, once you have identified your priorities, what's important to you, the next thing that you want to look at is how are you going to actually plan these things out? What is that going to look like for you? Are you going to need to create a to-do list? right? Some people like to have a daily to-do list. That way I can physically check, I have done this. Check, I have done this. And when you check that off, for some people, it's like it's instant gratification knowing that you've marked it off your list. Um, if you need to create different to-do list for work, for school, for personal life, whatever, whatever works for you. Um, I obviously like to do to-do lists because I put one in your introduction every week. To me, it just helps me line out perfectly. I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. It's clear, concise. To me, it is. Um, does this always work for me? No, it doesn't. For like little daily things, to-do lists are great. For big picture, calendars. I have a personal like planner, like a little book planner, you know. I have a Google Calendar. Everybody here at Carl Albert uses Google Calendar. And so I've set that up. I've set it up to where I get reminders on my phone when I have meetings or specific events coming up. I even have a calendar on my wall in my office space. That's more, dates like specific to school, specific to Carl Albert that I will put on there. Um, so it might seem like overkill, right, to have all of those things, but that's what works. That's what works for me. And honestly, I will go through phases in my throughout the year where I will 2 months do great writing everything down in my planner, and then I'll leave it in my backpack for a month, right? And then that's maybe when I'm doing more to-do list or just working more off of my Google Calendar. So, depending on my season in life, how I use these techniques changes, and that's okay too. The next one is time blocking. Um, some people like this, you know, maybe you know that every every day, obviously, say you have an 8 to 5 job, you have to block off that time for work. You have to. There's no way around it. You know that from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you're going to be at work. You can't do anything else, right? So then maybe you come home and you've blocked off from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock to do dinner, do chores, spend time with your families, whatever that might look like for you. And then say every night from like 9 to 10 o'clock, you're going to be doing homework at that time. So that's what time blocking looks like. I do this loosely sometimes. I mean, for me, I know like 8 to 4:30, I got to be at work, right? Um, on Mondays from 5 to 8, I know I'm going to be coaching color guard practice. During football season, Friday nights, I know I'm going to be at a football game. That's part of my job. I have to be there. And so those types of things are easy to time block because those are my responsibilities that I've signed up for. I get paid for. Um, some people like to take this a step further and say, okay, like Saturday, don't have to work. So I'm gonna sleep until 8. From 8 to 9, I'm gonna do some chores. From 9 to 9:30, I'm gonna eat a little breakfast, watch a little show. You could get as detailed as that if you want, but that's time blocking. So, me personally, I use a mixture of all of them. Maybe one works better for you. It just depends on you. Managing distractions, especially in those specific times when you're trying to get those things that are really urgent and very important done, and you have to get this done. This is whenever we need to find ways to manage your distractions. So first we got to identify those, right? Is my distraction my phone? Is my distraction, I mean, let's just be honest, like other people, right? Is that a distraction to me? Then how can I create myself a work zone that is distraction free or at least mostly distraction free? Next thing, setting time limits. Allocate specific times to check things. As an example, maybe you need to allocate specific times to check emails or messages. And then this last one, this is a different technique that on the video, the title, it says specifically for like if you're ADHD. Um, it can work for you even if you're not. So this Pomodoro, I'm saying that wrong. I know I am. But Takas did it talks about setting a timer. I'm gonna work for 25 minutes. I'm gonna take a break for 5. I'm gonna work for 25 minutes. I'm gonna take for break for 5. Maybe reverse it. I'm gonna go clean for 25 minutes and then I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna study for 5 minutes. I'm gonna go do another chore for 25 minutes and I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna study for 5 minutes. This is the overall gist of what this is talking about.
Oh,
3-minute video. That's what you're looking at there. Okay. Delegation techniques. All of your lives are completely different, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you like you need to find ways to delegate tasks in your life because sometimes it just doesn't work out. You don't have the right people in your life or situations to be able to delegate tasks, and that's okay. But these are 4 steps on when it comes to delegating techniques. This can work for work, this can work for personal life, this can work for whatever you want it to work for. Um, but it has to be certain things. So I'll let you read through that. I'm going to move on. I feel like I've been talking too much. Overcoming procrastination. This is huge in time management. Even if you don't identify as a procrastinator, I feel like at some point in your life, you do a little bit. You know, there's a task you don't want to do, and so you drag your feet on getting there. Um, this next video that's coming up, if you are a procrastinator, I want to highly encourage you to watch that video. When I watched that video, I was like, oh my gosh, I did not realize that my brain was working that way. I did not realize that my brain was going through those processes, and that is part of why I procrastinate. If you have somebody in your life who is a procrastinator and maybe it irks you, it drives you insane. You don't understand. Why can you not just get it done? Watch the video. It will open your eyes. I promise you it will. But some tips on overcoming procrastination. I have to use this one a lot, so I'm going to start with this one. Use the 2-minute rule. If a task can be done in 2 minutes, do it immediately. Do it immediately. If I get home for work and I sit down, I'm done. I'm in. I'm over. Like it's game over. But if I come home for work and I do those tasks, I do those chores, I'm so much more productive. I have to do this. I will pick something up and I will tell myself, put this in the right spot. Put this in the right spot so that I don't just set it down somewhere because I will. I'll set it down somewhere random in my house. Set small goals. So if you have a really large goal that you're trying to achieve, try to set smaller goals and break it into more manageable parts. And then reward and consequences. I mean, anytime I can come up with a way to treat myself, you know I'm gonna do it. But you can't just always do that. You have to set consequences for yourself as well. Here's a procrastination video that I was talking about. Okay. Here's the thing about any time you make some kind of time management plan for yourself. You have to evaluate it and then adjust. You have to be okay if part of your plan didn't work and try to navigate why it didn't work and what could I try next. And you have to be okay with that. Um, if you're not sure how to do that, and if you're not sure a good time management strategy, or maybe you've tried things and you would like help, I'm here for you. I will gladly plan a time with you to call or to Zoom and to talk more about different time management strategies, goal setting, and things like that. Last but not least, in conclusion, Effective time management is crucial for boosting productivity and achieving a balance between work and personal life. By identifying priorities, planning effectively, and managing distractions, you can reach your goals more efficiently. Call to action. I want to encourage you to apply some of these techniques to your life, right? Figure out your priorities, set them, look at those goals, and take the time to regularly evaluate what you're doing. Like I said, seriously, guys, I'm not joking. From month to month, sometimes my time management strategy has to change. And that's probably just me. That might just be my personality. But I have learned that I have to be okay with that and I just have to do what works for me. So, um, assignments for you, excuse me, to do this week are the quiz, and then I want to spend just a couple more minutes talking about this right here. Your discussion board, you're going to click on this link and it will open here. It will open like this, but I have already pre-done some calculations. This part right here is a number of credit hours. So this is like how many classes you're enrolled in. So let's say it's 12 credit hours that I'm in. Oh, it reset everything. Anyway, so say I'm in 12 credit hours, it's automatically gonna set aside some study time. I am literally just going to um, start typing in some random numbers because I feel like I have been jabbering so much. But anyways, you get the gist. You type in and it tells you, right, what you spend the most time on. So maybe you spend the most time, supposedly supposed to spend the most time on study time. That's the thing about this calculator is the study time might not truly reflect how much time you do spend studying. So let's look at the actual discussion. So it says, based on the time management calculator, what are the top 3 things you spend your most time on? So you can just say the top 3 things I spend my most time on is homework, work, sleep. Number 2, considering what you've read in the chapters, the information from the presentation, and thinking about your, excuse me, sorry, is thinking about your, I feel like I have to sneeze or something. Time management calculations. What improvements would you like to make when it comes to time management? So you could simply just say, I would like to find more time to study. I would like to find more time to spend with my family. Create SMART goals for the following. I would like for you to create a SMART goal for your academics, so that's for school stuff. For your career, this can be for your current job or your future job that you are trying to maybe get your associates so that you can go on that path. And time management. This can be related to number 2, or it can be a whole goal in itself. And on when you're looking at this number 3, if you need to go back and look at the presentation where it broke down what a SMART goal is, you can look at that. You can go back in the chapter and look at how they defined SMART goals. Okay. I'm sorry, that was probably a little bit longer video than what I would have normally liked. Um, but sometimes I just have a lot to say. But anyways, if you guys need me, if you want to discuss goal setting and time management a little bit more in like a one-on-one personal setting, let me know and I would be happy to help with that. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.